The sun was slowly setting over the campus of the University of Warsaw. A warm and calm May afternoon was filled with the murmur of students chatting as they returned from their classes. The chatter gradually faded, the buildings emptied, and most of the faculty and administrative staff had long since left their offices. Only a few people remained on the main campus at Krakowskie Przedmieście. One of them was just locking the doors of Auditorium Maximum. She was a woman whose face was known to nearly every student. A 53-year-old porter, mother of 3, always smiling, always ready to help lost freshmen or remind absent-minded professors about forgotten documents. For many, she was an inseparable part of the university, always present, always vigilant, maintaining order for years in one of the school's most important buildings. That evening was supposed to be like any other. Classes had ended, students had gone home, and she followed her usual routine, checking rooms, locking doors, making sure everything was in order. No one, not even she, suspected these were her final moments alive. Suddenly, the silence was broken. The peace of the campus was shattered by a sound no one expected there, a metallic swoosh slicing through the air, followed by a dull thud. Then a scream, abruptly cut short, and a silence even more terrifying than before. Welcome to the Last Whisper channel. My name is Robert, and today I will tell you a story that shook not only the academic world, but the entire country of Poland. A story based on events documented by the media. A story that proves tragedy can strike anywhere, even in a place that should be a sanctuary of knowledge and safety. Stay with me until the end. On May 7th, 2025, at around 6:40 p.m., an incident occurred on the main campus of the University of Warsaw that would forever change the lives of many and leave a bloody mark on the history of Polish higher education. According to media reports, including Kanał Zero, the perpetrator was a 22-year-old third-year law student from Gdynia, identified by some sources as Mieszko R. However, it's important to note that official authorities have not publicly confirmed the identity of the perpetrator, in accordance with data protection laws and journalistic ethics. The young man, described by the university rector as a good high school student and a solid, if not outstanding university student, entered the campus that day with a concealed axe. According to eyewitness accounts cited by fact, the perpetrator behaved calmly and raised no suspicion until the moment of the attack, which may have hindered any chance of earlier intervention. His victim was the 53-year-old porter, the woman who had just finished her shift and was locking the doors to the Auditorium Maximum. The attack was sudden and completely unexpected. The woman had no chance to defend herself. The details of the incident are still under investigation. Unconfirmed reports circulated on social media, and some news sites spoke of the attack's exceptional brutality and the perpetrator's unusual behavior afterward. It must be emphasized that these details have not been officially confirmed by the prosecutor's office or police, and spreading them may be inappropriate, harmful to the investigation, and distressing to the victim's family. Hearing the screams and sounds of a struggle, a 39-year-old university security employee rushed to help. The man, showing extraordinary courage, had no idea what he was about to face. During the attempted intervention, he was seriously injured in the head and hands. The entire incident lasted only a few minutes. Fortunately, a State Protection Service officer was present on campus at the time. He was accompanying Minister of Justice Adam Bodnar, who was visiting the university. That officer, together with other security personnel, helped subdue the attacker and prevent further tragedy. The news spread rapidly. Social media was flooded with updates, and videos from the scene began to surface online, despite pleas from the university and police not to share them, out of respect for the ongoing investigation and the dignity of the victim and her family. When discussing this incident, one should stick to verified facts and avoid sensationalism. Rather than focusing on the horror, we should reflect on the social impact of this tragedy and its effects on the academic community. For students who spent their days on campus, the event was particularly traumatic. Many had sat on those same benches, past that same porter's desk, and knew the victim from brief daily encounters. Now, all of that took on a new, terrifying meaning. One student quoted by WP Wiadomości said, "It's hard to process or make sense of it. What makes it even harder is that we sat on those benches around there. We're there every day. We're all in shock. Source WP Wiadomości. Another quoted by RMF24 added, I have no idea what motivated that person. I honestly don't know what to say. Now there's the question of how someone even brought an axe onto campus. You can just walk in with an axe, lie in wait. It's hard to feel safe now. Source RMF24. This question of security became one of the most pressing concerns after the tragedy. How could this happen in the heart of the capital, at a renowned university, in broad daylight, with people all around? How did no one notice anything suspicious or react in time? The harsh reality is that we can't predict everything. We can't always stop someone who is determined to commit an act of violence. All we can do is react when tragedy strikes. The university authorities responded immediately. The rector, Professor Aloisi Nowak, issued an official statement. Our university community has been struck by a great tragedy. At around 7 p.m., our employee was murdered. A university guard was seriously injured. The perpetrator has been apprehended. He is one of our students. The following day, May 8th, was declared a day of mourning. All classes were cancelled, and administrative staff were told to stay home. At 1 p.m., a ceremony was held to honor the victim, with a wreath laid outside Auditorium Maximum. The university launched a comprehensive support system for those affected. Staff from the university's Psychological Support Center were assigned to assist students, lecturers, and other staff members. A special helpline and on-campus consultation points were established to provide professional help to anyone in need. The Minister of Science, Marcin Kulasek, expressed deep condolences to the victim's family and pledged support for the academic community. The university also announced specific assistance for the victim's family, including her 3 children. The incident prompted a review of security procedures at Polish universities. Within days, the University of Warsaw introduced several new safety measures: increased number of security staff, especially in the evening, additional CCTV cameras in key areas, systematic checks of individuals entering campus buildings, crisis response training for staff, emergency alert system via mobile app for students and employees. The suspect was placed in police custody. The investigation is ongoing, with no public disclosure yet of the young man's motives. Witness interviews and other procedural steps are being taken to clarify all circumstances of the incident. The prosecutor's office has urged the public to refrain from speculation or spreading unverified information, as this may hinder the investigation and add to the grief of the victim's family. A spokesperson emphasized that all official findings would be shared publicly, in accordance with legal procedures and respect for the dignity of those involved. One former student of the university's Faculty of Political Science told the media, "I don't think I could even go there anymore physically. It just feels completely absurd." Source, Kanał Zero. That sense of absurdity, of unreality, is shared by many trying to understand what happened. How do you make sense of such a brutal, primitive act of violence occurring in a place associated with knowledge, progress, and safety? The tragedy at the University of Warsaw reminds us that evil can appear anywhere, that no place is 100% safe, that beneath the surface of normalcy, dark instincts may be lurking, ready to explode. But it also reminds us of courage, like that shown by the guard who ran to help, risking his life; of solidarity, demonstrated by the academic community's unified response in mourning and supporting the victim's family; of inner strength, the kind that helps people keep going even after such a traumatic experience. Candles and flowers began to appear around the campus. People came to pay tribute to the murdered woman, to express their grief and protest against violence. Support groups appeared on social media, offering a space for students and staff to share their thoughts and feelings. One student, speaking to local media, said, "It's a terrifying thing, a tragedy, something surreal. We need to respect the victims of such things." Source, TVN24. Another, quoted by Onet, added, "We don't want to spread any rumors. This is an unimaginable tragedy, and we don't want to overshadow it with gossip. We want to respect what has happened." Source, Onet Wiadomości. Reflecting on safety in academic spaces has become a central part of the conversation sparked by this incident. Many are asking, does the university's security system need improvement? These are questions the authorities and relevant agencies will continue to examine, regardless of the conclusions drawn. This event is a reminder of the importance of mutual awareness and support. It emphasizes the need for accessible psychological help for those in crisis and the importance of responding appropriately to warning signs. Let us remember the victim, a woman who faithfully served her university for years, who had loved ones, dreams, and plans. Let us also recognize the bravery of the injured guard, who did not hesitate to help, even at great personal risk. These acts of courage and solidarity prove that, even in the face of tragedy, the human spirit to help others remains unbroken. Thank you for listening to this story. I hope it made you reflect on the importance of supporting each other in difficult times and prioritizing the safety of our communities. The University of Warsaw has announced several initiatives to improve campus security, including increasing security staff, installing additional surveillance cameras, reviewing safety procedures, expanding psychological support services, organizing crisis response training. The university also launched a special helpline for students and staff needing psychological support related to this tragic event. If this story moved you, please leave a like and subscribe to the Last Whisper channel. Remember, in times of tragedy, what matters most is solidarity, mutual support, and caring for one another. See you in the next episode.